seriously, read the first page. If that doesn't capture your interest right away, I don't know what's wrong with you. My whole goal of this video is to convince you to read What the Hell Did I Just Read by Jason Pargin / David Wong. I'm giving myself less than 10 minutes because I don't think I need more than 10 minutes to convince you to read this book. This book is wonderful, it's hilarious, it's super well done, and I can almost say that with 100% certainty, you are not gonna be disappointed. This is the third book of the John Dies at the End series. Oh, this exceeded my expectations. I'm so happy to report that I loved this book. I loved it so much. I have nothing but wonderful things to say about it. My only complaint is that it took me so long to read. This took me 3 weeks because life, you know how it goes. I will admit, I was a little worried going in because I thought, how could you possibly compete with this book as full of spiders? Because this book, absolutely incredible. One of my top favorite reads of the entire year. I was really worried. While I was excited to dive into this, I had worried that the bar was set way too high because of this book. But you know what? Jason Pargin, you freaking nailed it, dude, because this was absolutely outstanding. Again, so many funny laugh out loud moments. I really feel silly reading this series because sometimes I just sit there cackling over something John said or something stupid that Dave did, and I just feel ridiculous. This book is so wonderful. I will admit to you, this one is my least favorite of the series so far. I still have yet to read number 4. If this book exists, you're in the wrong universe, but I am so stoked. I can't wait to dive into that one. This is a difficult video to make because it's the third book in the series, but I will say that all these books are considered standalone books. You could pick up any one of them and just read it. I hesitate to recommend that. I don't know. I like to read a series from beginning to end. Otherwise, I feel like there's something that I'm missing. I have serious FOMO. If you're watching this video and you haven't read any Jason Pargin, start with this one and then proceed immediately to reading the rest in the series. This video is focused on What the Hell Did I Just Read? So let's start there. I love this cover. I love this cover so much because, first of all, I love this another John Dies at the End shitstorm. I think that's so funny. And then also, look at this little middle finger. That is just so David Wong, you know what I mean? He has that attitude. And then this, okay, these images make no sense until you read the book and you're like, okay, that's what that's all about. If you don't know anything about this book, again, this falls under the genre of satirical cosmic horror. It's incredible. I love the cast of characters, though they are very far from perfect. Whoa, they got a lot of issues, they got a lot of problems. David is a mess. John is also a mess, but in a very different way. Amy's good. I like Amy. I'm a huge Amy fan. She's just so sweet. She's easily the best one of this trio. Dave and John, they're hilarious. Their flaws make them just so real. They're so real, and they are just so funny. I'm sorry, I keep mentioning the hilarity of these characters, but they're so funny. The dialogue between them, the things that they think and the things that they say, it's just like, oh my God, where do you come up with this crap? I would love to know the mind of Jason Pargin because how can he write something like this? You have a case of missing kids that Dave and John and Amy are trying to solve. Police cannot figure it out, but weird supernatural stuff occurs in their little town of Undisclosed. So the police involve John, Dave, and Amy to help them solve the case of missing kids. But something very weird is going on with these disappearances. I will leave it at that because I don't want to give too much away, and I think that you should read this book. I really do. I hope that's enough to get you interested in this book. If for nothing else, go get this book because it's freaking hilarious. It's so funny. I have another long form video that's going to come out on this book. It's going to contain a crap ton of spoilers, but that won't be ready for a while. I'm expecting sometime January 2025. I hope that this video encourages you to purchase these books and read them right away. But if you've heard of them or if you own them and if you haven't read them yet, I really need you to stop what you're doing, stop what you're reading, and go read them right away because I promise you're not going to be disappointed. If you have read these books or anything by Jason Pargin, I would love to hear from you. Leave me a comment because I want to know. So far, these are the only books that I've read by Jason Pargin, but again, I'm really looking forward to reading book number 4. And at some point in 2025, I would really love to read his other book that just came out. I'm starting to worry about this box of doom or something like that. Hold on. I'm starting to worry about this box of doom. Something like that. So far, I've heard some really good things about that. And I've been wanting to read it, but I have to finish my Dave and John series first. I have to. If I have convinced you to read any of these books, that would make my day, and I hope you let me know. And I hope that if you go on your David Wong journey, you report back and let me know what you think. I'm dropping the links below to all of these books so you can purchase yourself a copy. Who knows? If you're watching this video and Christmas has already passed, it's okay. Find another excuse to buy yourself one of these books. Actually, all of these books. Who am I kidding? Maybe it's a New Year's gift or a Valentine's Day gift to yourself. I don't know. Find a reason. These books are just so wonderful. I have honestly nothing negative to say about them. I will say, I don't think this one was perfect, but there's a lot of backstory about that. There's a ton of history as to how this book even got created. So for that alone, I forgive it. So these originally were a lot of short stories that were published originally on crack.com, and then it got converted into a novel. And because of that, it is a little clunky, not enough to really bother me, but these are perfection though, absolute perfection. These books must be reread, or at the very least read as a group. It would be great for book club because you're gonna wanna discuss the events of this book. And there are 100% going to be events in these books that you will inevitably miss on your first read through. These books deserve many read throughs, but at minimum, 2 reads at least for each of these books because there's so much going on. Jason Pargin is a very subtle writer. He's not going to point blank tell you things. You really have to pay attention to the dialogue between the characters. You just have to pay attention. There are going to be things that you miss even if you're putting forth a serious effort to pay attention to all the events and interactions of these books. But that's what makes these so marvelous is if you buy yourself these books, you're going to want to read them multiple times. So it's not just a one and done experience. This can be enjoyed over and over and over again. And what more can you want from a book series? I also will say that while there are a lot of really, really funny moments in this book, there are some heavy moments as well. And there are points in this story where you're like, I feel you, Dave. I feel you, Amy. And John, you're just all messed up. So I don't know what to tell you. Good luck. For me, this book was wildly entertaining. It had me dying to sit and read through it in one sitting, but life, I could not do that. It took me so much longer than I wanted, but seriously, every page is just so captivating. I love the characters. I love the storyline. I love the horror aspects in here as well. I just can't help myself but just be super invested when it comes to these books. I mean, I just have to know. This is impossible to DNF. Has that ever happened? I'm sure there's a reader out there that didn't appreciate this, but I just can't even fathom that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, if you start this book, I think you're gonna be hooked. Book preferences do vary. Reviews are so subjective, so these are my opinions only. While I hope that you love these books, I guess it's not guaranteed. If you have not enjoyed these books, I hope that you leave me a comment because I would love to understand. And you know what? I would like to venture to say that if you didn't enjoy this book, maybe it's just because you didn't read it with somebody, because part of the enjoyability for me is the discussion about these books and the, oh my gosh, did you catch what happened in this specific chapter? Oh, it's just so fun to discuss. It's so fun. I enjoy so much making these videos because I feel so passionate about these books. I just enjoy them so much. And honestly, I think you will enjoy them too. So leave me a comment. Let me know if you've read any other Jason Pargin books. Have you read John Dies at the End? What are your initial thoughts? If I have convinced you to read this book, let me know because that would make my day. If I have not convinced you to read this book, I am so very sorry. You know what? Ignore me and then maybe just pretend you didn't see this video and go get this book at Barnes & Noble or Books A Million or on the Amazon link that I'm putting down below and read it anyways. If I have not convinced you to read this book, I'm so sorry, but I hope that you subscribe to my channel anyways to give me an opportunity to convince you to read some of my other favorite books. Some of them will be Jason Pargin related. A lot of them will be Brandon Sanderson related. I just feel so passionate about the books that I really enjoyed, and I want other people to enjoy them too. So I hope you give me an opportunity to do so. If you're still with me, woo, I'm impressed. Thank you for your support. I love making these videos. I love talking books. I'll catch you in another video. I hope to catch you after you have started your David Wong journey. Thanks so much for hanging in there, and I'll catch you on the flip side.